You sit down to write, that cursor's blinking and mocking you on that blank page. You have the idea in your head and you've got the passion burning in your heart, but the words just won't come out. What if it's not your fault? What if there are invisible barriers that are sabotaging your writing goals without you even knowing it? In this video, I'm going to give you the 5 hidden pain points that are secretly killing writing dreams, and I'm going to give you some actionable tips to break through them for good. The problem usually isn't lack of skill or ideas. The problem almost always is one of these 5 pain points. These are the deep-seated fears and flawed mindsets that work against us from the inside. These are the true villains of our writing story. The first and honestly the most common pain point is the absolute terror and fear of writing a bad first draft. We all have this gorgeous cinematic version of the story that we want to tell, but when we try to get that on the page, things are clunky and awkward, and it's nothing like the masterpiece that we imagined. That gap between our vision and the reality can be jarring, and it can cause a kind of paralysis. And we have this imagination that every word is supposed to be perfect from the start. This perfectionism is the single most effective dream killer in every writer's life. It's a nasty little voice that whispers in our ear, if you can't do it perfectly, don't do it at all. So we don't do it. And well, we may write a couple sentences and then we delete it because it's not perfect. And then we write a word and then we delete it. And it's really a nasty little lie. It's unproductive and demoralizing. You start believing you're not a good writer when the truth is you're just not allowing yourself to be a writer. You're not giving yourself permission to be a beginner. And the truth is that every first draft is a new beginning. The solution is to completely redefine what a first draft is for. You have to embrace what's called the messy draft. Now, a first draft isn't supposed to be good, it just needs to be done. Give yourself permission to write badly. Now, a really good technique to use is to get a timer and set a timer for 20 minutes. And during that 20 minutes, you are going to write. You are not going to stop. You are not going to let your hands leave that keyboard, and you're just going to let the words flow. The goal is momentum, not perfection. And as author Jodi Picoult said, you can always edit a bad page, but you can't edit a blank page. Your first draft isn't the final product, it's just the clay, and you can't sculpt anything unless you get it on the table. The second hidden pain point is the myth of the perfect conditions. It's this mindset that you have to have the perfect conditions to write, that you have to have the right chair, that the environment around you has to be just right in order for you to write. You tell yourself things like, I'll write when I get inspired, or I don't want to write tonight because I'm too tired or stressed, or I'm too busy. You've bought into this romantic idea that writing is some special act that descends from heaven. You're waiting for the Muse to show up and tap you on the shoulder and say, hey there, I'm going to give you the perfect words to write. I'm going to give you the hard truth. The Muse is a terrible employee, terribly fickle, and really not dependable. If you only write when you feel inspired, you might write once a month if you're lucky. Studies on writer's block consistently show that motivational issues are one of the main reasons writers get stuck. Waiting for the perfect moment to write is really a fancy form of procrastination. The fix is to stop treating your writing like it's some special event and treat it like a job. You need a routine and not a ritual. The most successful writers don't wait for inspiration to show up. They command it to show up by sitting down day after day and writing. This is about discipline and not divine intervention. Schedule your writing time. Put it on the calendar. Pretend like it's a doctor's appointment that you can't miss. And when that time comes, you sit down and you write. That could be 15 minutes before you leave for work. It could be an hour after the kids get in bed. Whatever it is, have it on the schedule and be present when you have it scheduled. And here's the secret. Inspiration doesn't create action. Action creates inspiration. You have to build a habit. The Muse rewards the people that show up, not those that just wait around for her to show up. You have a purpose and your story has a purpose, and I'm here to help you write your story so that you can change the world one life at a time. The third hidden pain point is a really sneaky one because it feels so productive, and it's the learning trap. You want to be a better writer, and so you decide you're going to learn everything you can about the craft. You watch hours of YouTube videos on story structure. You read dozens of blog posts on character archetypes. You buy all the recommended books on prose and syntax, and you listen to every podcast with a famous author, and you feel great. You feel like you're making real progress because you're learning so much. Here's the danger. You can get so caught up in learning how to write that you never actually write. And it's really another really tricky form of procrastination. Your brain gets that satisfying dopamine hit when you think, hey, I'm chasing my dream. But your word count, it's stuck at 0. Don't get me wrong. I love that you're watching this video. Please keep watching. But the secret is to stop being passively consuming information and actively doing something with the information. Try this. Implement a strict 1 in, 1 out rule. And what this means is every time you learn a new writing technique, you read a book or you watch a video about something, after you consume that information, go and actually do it before you consume more information and apply that information to your writing. Don't just learn about the inciting incident. After you do, go actually write the inciting incident for your story. Remember, your goal is not to become the world's leading expert on writing theory. Your goal is to write your story. So always prioritize writing your story over research. If you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe and hit that bell notification so you don't miss any future videos. And pain point number 4 is the imposter's shadow. And this is a dark cloud that can follow pretty much every single author at least one point in their writing career. Imposter syndrome is a nagging, persistent voice in the back of your head that is whispering to you, you're a fraud. And it can cause you to think things like, I'm not a real writer, or maybe my ideas might be stupid, or what if nobody likes what I write? It's the feeling of being a phony that just sticks around even when there's evidence that you're doing just fine as a writer. Studies have found that imposter syndrome is a really common thing. Some have even said that up to 82% of people have experienced this sensation of imposter syndrome at least some point in their life. This feeling, it's absolutely crippling, and it will suck all the motivation and joy out of your work. It's like taking your messy first draft and comparing it to somebody's professionally edited masterpiece that's a bestseller. And that's kind of like comparing a little sapling tree to a redwood. It makes you terrified to share your work because when you share your work, you might get feedback, and that feedback might confirm your greatest fear that, oh, you're just not good enough. Well, this just isn't true because let me tell you, even best-selling authors have struggled with this at some point in their writing career. The first step to fighting imposter syndrome is recognizing that it's normal. If you are fighting imposter syndrome, that's probably a really good sign that you are a real writer. It means that you care enough about this writing that you want to do it justice. And so to fight this, you want to start collecting evidence. You want to create a win file or a kudos file. Like seriously. Every time you get a nice comment, or you finish a chapter and it feels really good, or you get some positive feedback, Write it all down and put it in your kudos file. And when self-doubt and the imposter syndrome starts to come at you, open that file and read through it. The second and honestly most powerful way to combat this is to find community. Find your people, whether that's a critique group or a Discord. Find the group of people. All you really need is one person, one other writer who understands writing, and you can share things with each other and be honest with each other, and that can make the difference. The moment that you share your inadequacies with another person and they respond with, "Me too," that's the moment when you realize you're not alone and it's not just you. And you can find that encouragement and you can overcome this obstacle of the imposter syndrome. The fifth pain point is the paralysis that comes with a giant project. And I call this the overwhelm of the mountain. You've got a brilliant idea for a novel or a memoir or a nonfiction book. You're excited, you're motivated, but you're also completely overwhelmed. The project feels like a gigantic, unconquerable mountain. You're trying to think about plot, subplots, characters, arcs, world building, research, theme, 1,000 different things all at once. And that finish line, it might as well be on another planet. When you're standing at the base of a huge mountain, it's really easy to become overwhelmed and not even take that first step. Every word that you write might feel insignificant when you look at, oh my goodness, I need to hit 80,000 or 100,000 words, and it doesn't feel like I'm ever going to reach it. The solution is deceptively simple. You don't write a book. You write one sentence. You write one page. You write one chapter or scene. You do one thing at a time. You have to break that big mountain down into smaller hills, and an outline is your best friend in this situation. It's your roadmap on how you're going to climb that mountain. Well, once you have your outline, take your chapters and maybe break it down into scenes, even less than chapters. And then each day, your goal is to just write one scene, and that's it. Instead of the terrifying thought, I have to write a novel. No, think about today, I have to write the scene where the hero gets that mysterious message. See, that feels doable already. Set tiny concrete goals, like I'm going to write 300 words a day. And by doing that, it will give you encouragement when you hit each goal, and it will help build in momentum and raise the encouragement level. You conquer that mountain not by leaping to the summit, but by taking one repeatable step at a time. And every single book that you have ever loved reading was written this same way, one word at a time. So there you have it, the 5 pain points that are holding you back in your writing dreams. The terror of the bad first draft, waiting around for the muse, getting stuck in the learning trap, battling imposter syndrome, and feeling crushed by the sheer size of your project. Do you notice a pattern here? None of these things have anything to do with your talent or how good your idea is. They have to do with your mindset and your process. You have the power to change your relationship with writing from fear and frustration to joy and momentum and progress. You are not a fraud. You are not lazy. You have been a writer who has been fighting battles you couldn't even see, but now you can. And now you have the tools to win. I have a question for you. Which one of these 5 pain points resonates the most with you? Share that in the comments. And while you're there, tell me one small step, one small thing that you are going to do to overcome that. Sharing your plan is a powerful first step. Thank you for watching.